Hello, we're going to be making tags today, or bases for tags, so that you can use in your journals and decorate them. First, we're going to start off with the playing cards. I do like playing cards. I think they're fun to use. Those are some extra large playing cards. I am doing a voiceover. I do apologize. You're going to see me talking with my hands, and they are really not going to match what I'm saying. So I apologize in advance. I thought I was recording this. I think my microphone died. I have actually 3 or 4 videos where I think my microphone died, and I had to I'm having to redo the voice, so I apologize. And I kind of procrastinated a little bit, so they sat in my iMovies, and so I kind of forgot what the videos are what they're about. So anyways, carry on. So here I am. I am taking the sandpaper. I am sanding down the playing cards. It gives a little bit of better adhesion when you use the glue on there. It also helps with the distressing. It has a plastic type film on it. That makes it easier. It is a fine grain sandpaper, so I would look for something really fine if you're going to do this. I also use a wet towel to kind of pull up all of the dust, because you don't want the dust on there, so I do that as well. You can also look, like if you kind of tilt it, you can see it in the light, the scratches, and kind of see how well it is distressed. As you can see, I didn't like the way that was fully distressed, so I go back and do it again. You kind of want to do it all in different directions so it doesn't look like just like even, because you don't want it to look even and make it look like it's manufactured type thing. You want to make it look natural. So here I am. I'm just taking glue stick and I am just putting pieces of paper on there. Again, always watch the paper you use because you never know what's on it. So just be careful when you do it. You'll see how those work out, but we're going to let that dry. Do the same thing for each one of these, and once those are done, they have to dry a little bit. You do really want to let them dry, because if you don't let them dry, you're just going to pull the piece of paper off. And so you don't have to do like just a straight line with the glue stick. You can do like little patterns or whatever. You can do whatever you want. I would suggest thinner lines rather than thicker lines. It tears the paper better, and you'll see what I mean once we get back to these. I am going to let these dry. So, and then the last one, the king. This is great actually for those brittle pieces of paper that you have. You can also use just regular book pages. They all work out great. We're going to distress them anyways, so. So here I'm showing you another way to make a tag base. I just took a book page and folded it over in 3s, and then I'm just going to glue it down. These are great with really large book pages. It's great because you're done. That's all you have to do is maybe around the corners. If you want to cut it a little bit, kind of size it a little bit, that's fine too. You can do that. But it's quick and easy, and it works out really well. So just make sure you get all the edges down. If you are not sewing, definitely make sure you have all the edges down. If you do cut it, so say you have that and then you want to size it or cut off some of the edges, just make sure you kind of run your finger along it and glue down any edges. You don't want those to come up. And there we go. I'm putting a book on top of it because the glue stick does tend to make pages kind of warp a little bit. I do like to kind of make sure there's some weight on there. Now I'm taking 3 book pages. They're all the same. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of turn each, so there's a tattered edge. I'm going to turn each tattered edge to the opposite. Maybe not. I thought I was doing that. Apparently I didn't. I thought about it, I guess. I think I do it on the next page. Yeah, so I do 3 pages on this one. Paper's kind of brittle, so I really wanted to make sure that I didn't have any issues with it. So that's why I did 3 pages. It's an older book. I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know why I did that. So weird. Anyways, so we're going to glue down this other page. I like to make sure there's a lot of glue, obviously. There we go. Just glue it down, and then I'm going to throw that underneath the pad again, just the weight so it keeps it straight and flat. That's my biggest concern. So I'm just showing you here, like sometimes, like if you have, if you want to do tags like with the writing space on the back, kind of watch for the pages. As you saw, one of those pages has a nice piece of paper, or nice quarter of the page that doesn't have any writing on it. Those are great. You know, you don't have to do much with those. You just have to decorate the front, and then you have the back. So see, that will make a great back. I will just cut it so that way I have that area to for the tag, for writing on the back of the tag. I like to make my tags so that there's decoration on the front and then some writing on the back. Okay, so now what I'm going to show you is I am going to make a collage, like just a book page collage on some cardstock. I somehow bought, like, I don't know, they seem to keep growing, but like thousands of cardstock. It was at a garage sale, and one side is really shiny and the other side is matte. So the shiny side makes it difficult to do anything, so usually I collage on top of it. It's been great for this type of project, especially for tags, because you got the nice side on the other side to use. That's a matte finish and you can write on that. So right now, basically what I'm doing is I'm just collaging book pages. I'm pulling out, I just grab a stack of book pages. They're all messed up. I don't really worry about which one is which. And then I just stick down. I try to make sure I'm using big pieces. I do try to make sure that all the edges are glued down, as you can see. You really want to make sure they are. You'll also see that I'll kind of move around a little bit. I'm not going to go like from one side to the other, because if you do that, sometimes it makes the page look a little uniform. I also make sure that I, you know, as you can see, none of the pages are like, they're not all going the same direction. The words are not all, quote, upright, which is totally fine, because you don't need it, because they're more for a background. They're not really for reading or anything like that. So yeah, don't glue on your project. Just gonna throw that out there. Never a good idea to try to glue on your project. I've tried that several times and it never ends well. The reason why I like to use a lot of different book pages is you got different fonts, you've got different color of paper, and it really makes it kind of interesting. And the nice thing about book pages too, you can draw on them, you can spray distressed oxide, you can ink them, you can stamp stuff on them, you can stamp a background on them, and it just enhances it. It's a great way to make a tag by using book pages. I do like the look of book pages and the writing behind whatever decoration I'm doing on the front of it. So usually for tags, like I said, I do like to have a nice area on the back to write. And then the front, I like to have the front just, you know, have a pretty little design on the front of it. I am going to tell you, I actually had recorded this a few seconds ago, but yeah, I jumped around. I don't know what I did. So hopefully I won't get flustered this next time around, just an FYI. If I do, sorry. So yeah, gotta watch out those little tiny pieces. Like I don't like those. Because they don't glue down as well as you would think they would. And they just, you know, if you cut them, it funny. They don't, it's just a little more difficult. I like to use the big pieces. I do let the paper overhang from my back, the backing that it's on. I'm just going to cut them up anyways. I'll probably like straighten all the edges as I do that, so it's not really that big of a deal for me. Again, just watch when you do this. Usually when you go to make the tag from this type of a background, you again want to watch what words are showing up in the background and make sure that they're appropriate. Because yes, I've had some very inappropriate words show up after I've finished a project. I'm going to probably sew around the edges of these. You don't have to. Just make sure you run your finger around the edges, kind of make sure there's nothing sticking up because you don't want it to fall apart. So what I do with the glossy cards is I do use sandpaper to kind of rough it up so that way the glue does adhere better to it. I usually don't use glue stick with a shiny surface because it doesn't always work. Goodness, I'm watching the recording button as I'm doing this voiceover. You can hear me breathing. I'm so sorry. Nothing sexier than breathing in your ear, right? Sorry this isn't more interesting, but it basically is just a collage. Again, as you can see, I kind of tilted it, moved it around so that way it's not really uniform. Pieces are glued on top of other pieces, are glued on top of other pieces. It's not anything really uniform. You can do it uniform if you want. It's entirely up to you. Depends on what you want and what type of look you want. I just use these strictly for background. That's it. So, the more jumbled it looks, the better, because I don't want people to be looking at the background. I want people to looking at the foreground. Alright, so I put it under there again, obviously, to make sure it dries straight. Here's where it's going to get a little wonky. Sorry guys, I apologize. So this one I did not glue down well enough. As you can see, the paper came off on the back of that card, the Joker one. It came off without sticking on the other side of it. That happens sometimes. You just got to be a little careful. Make sure you put down enough glue. Now you can see as I'm like ripping it off, there's like little pieces that kind of stick there. So now I think I moved everything because of the pad of paper that was there. It was getting kind of difficult. I don't really know what I'm doing or why I keep flipping that over. Not 100% sure what I'm doing there. Yeah, well, that came out really nice. That's some nice backing there. Alright, so we're going to continue on with the playing cards. So you can see I pull it off and then I distress it. I take my distressed ink and I just kind of rub it all over the card. And as you can see, I rub it in to all the scratches and stuff that's on there from the sandpaper. Gives it a nice look. Gives it kind of a nice distressed look. And the paper there looks like it's kind of happened on there. Gives it a nice look. So you see I rip it from different angles. It's a little bit easier. I try to like kind of make sure I rip off all of the stray pieces. Sometimes you can kind of get it so it's kind of like almost an after image of it. You can see I'm just kind of, again, just taking the ink and I'm kind of pushing it into all of the scrapes and scratches I made with the use your words, with the sandpaper. Sorry about that. I'm mesmerized by what I'm doing. Can't think straight. And we're going to finish up with the Joker. And I did some lines on this one. Not lines. Oh my goodness. I glued straight lines onto the back of the card, and then I put the paper down. I just wanted to see what it would kind of do. I hadn't tried that yet. So, and here I am. I'm just going to distress it all again. I may, once I get it and start working or using it as a background or as a tag, I may distress it even more. Who knows? It all depends. And what I do is, again, I'm taking, because it's shiny, I kind of just rub the stuff into the scratched areas. It makes it a little bit easier. And it gives it a nice distressed look. See me? I don't know if you can see because I'm doing it on like hyper speed, but yeah, I just kind of do that. So. I use a variety of different colors to do the distressing. So there you go. That was flashed really fast. I apologize. I'm going to put some pictures at the end so you can kind of see them. I hope I still have pictures. Alright. So this is a nice area where I can use to, if I cut that up, I can make some nice, I'm going to do it right here in front of you. Oh, see? Again, I forgot. Yeah, we had to back it up there. Yeah, my desk is really messy. Please, no judgment. It's just the way I work. That was really messy. So I'm just kind of cutting them straight. I'm kind of cutting off some tags. As you can see, I do like to make sure all the edges are cut well. That's actually great. So that was just a piece of paper in one of the books I had, and it makes a great writing space. There we go. And don't know what that is. I don't know what I did there. I think I just glued a couple pieces on top of each other. Oh yeah, I think that's what I did, just kind of give it a different look. Now here is this, and I'm going to do it on this side. This is the matte side, but I want to watch like where I'm cutting it and stuff. So, and then I always use the first cut and use that as where I'm going to square it off from. And it's okay, cut it. Good job. So you can see there, I must have done a couple of these, just not all on camera, but you get an idea of how to cut them up really quickly. So you have some great tag bases, and you can have a couple of them ready when you want to make tags. That's my thing right now. I don't have a lot of tags ready to go in journals, so let me cut that one in half. Make small tags, you make big tags. And again, I always end up working small. I try to keep myself working big. So I think I just found that because my desk is so messy. I just found that. Basically what it is it's a clothing tag. You can also use those as well. You can cover those up. You can, sandpaper them down. But I just want to kind of give you an idea of some of the things I do use, so you can kind of see. Those come with my husband's underwear. Like they put those in the back to keep the underwear kind of flat. But they're great. They're thick. They're a perfect size, and I just use them to make tags as well. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this. I might have some others coming out, just some different things you can use as tags. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.